long way home again. Highway song begin. Highway, same old song. Something like magic when the streetlights turn on. Fire of the sun, something like magic. Okay. Fire of the sun. Shadow of the midnight makes the streetlights move. The shadow of the sun. The fire of the sun is with the midnight shadows in such a way that the lights are fun. The shadow of the fire of the sun. It makes the midnight shadows such a way that the lights are fun. The shadow of the sun. The fire of the sun. It makes the midnight shadows such a way where the lights are fun. Everyone, get the song begun. Introduction. Meow. 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 Saying the guitar solo. Then the drums kick in. Etc. Alright. YouTube.com/user/Romulus Wall. My name is Anthony Wall. YouTube.com/user/ROMULUS This is Romulus Science by Anthony Wall. Romulus in Remus Science about. This is Decipher also. This is Alpha and Omega Decipher. This is about where and how the order of physics is inside the order of identity. And they share the order of, all things share the order of identity, which has the one identity of value progression as a reality actually true always, not denying exceptions, in fact with exceptions and demonstration of that identity of truth, of its identity of relationship to itself, and of the value of that, distinctly and non-distinctly, onto and as the value of five bonded semi-natures that are only increasing, so it is invisible but still discernible using science. The ancients revealed, ancients who had really revealed English before it was preserved. See, there's a big difference between saying that the preservation of English is the invention of it. Modern nations found themselves in a trap, only capable of blaming others themselves for what nature was now causing a demonstration of us. All systems tactically ulterior from its one. The one that inventions work or not in relationship to. The one that inventions are further positive or not in relationship to it as the identity of relationship to itself. That causes evolution's fruits and gifts and means. See, we have opinions across the board of sciences, of campuses of every age and nature, and private database relationships, and overt criminal enterprises, and hundreds of nations sharing policing of this, and their militaries, and all that, every location, area, and state. Self-value, how leveraged against the same people self-valuing it. Every single person. If you are a king, if you are a pharaoh, you have to entertain locations, areas, and states, all criminally foreign influence, where and how it counts. See, everyone's a victim, blamed other things, others themselves for how the sciences are abridged. Self-valued that way. Simultaneously manifest as positive and negative, and as identity treatments, of sequence treatments, and of simultaneous values treatments. Tactical ulterior from again. with these value nature systems ulterior from this one that value. This is why we have value progression systems. See, but now we're in the semi-ancient trap. Someone must rap. We could each modern nation, just by agreeing we're in a semi-ancient trap, we could agree to how to claim fact cheating nature wise, which is the whole difference. This is where and how we are value progression in our control of where and how we are its identity of relation to itself, that it is positive simultaneously to its 5 orders of its own order of identity. Now these are 5 identities of sequence nature that we can observe. I'm not a doctor. That we can observe. I'm not a master in the nature of English grammar. That we can observe, manifest as the distinct identities of a shared identity of each cell. Cell body, cell nucleus, and the cell walls are manifest distinctly, but also non-distinctly. And there are 2 identities of sequence nature with that. And they are positive or negative too. That value progression. When it is positive to all at once, it is positive to its system, where everyone are revealed to and as means out of nowhere that weren't there before. This is where humanity came from. This is where physics came from. It was generated by the order of identity, which it is inside of. The order of physics is value nature, inside value is nature. The order of math is value nature, inside value is nature. Like where English is value. English is value nature, inside its value. But all the sciences are inside. The languages, these identities of sounds, have a bonded relationship the same way we do, individually grouped and together. This is why and how we have Latin with our laws. Our lawyer. They have been defended, have self-value defenses of criminally foreign influenced database relationships, roles with uses of them, locations, areas, and states, inter-branch, inter-campuses, inter-private databases simultaneously. Overt criminal enterprises simultaneously kept needing to hide the same sequence shifts, the same finite lies, active lies, progressive lies, and styles pretending other about positive and negative, which is really a course attached to our human fact treatment nature as science, which it's all right if someone wants to pretend they don't realize, they have an opinion, they don't realize the sciences are abridged. But you have to permit free speech to demonstrate, because they are also preventing mandated law. So by having kept such originally and still, they keep all kinds of bad things unfolding. Killers, a certain nature of child abuse, and collusion with the people that put them away. They're doctors. They're also kept needing to hide the same sequence shifts, live aggressions, same criminal uses of identity, ground locations with the people that put them away, not by accident. That's evidence. See, they don't follow mandated law. That's evidence. They know no one's watching databases, so they're just lying and typing more into databases and valuing more families and hundreds of names stacked. That's evidence. They pretend the amount of names they involve with everyone speaking through others and criminally making confessions, forging names, switching names. This is serious. If you call up the phone, they'll make fake transcripts of what's recorded over the phone. How I caught them is a phenomenon. Most of you have never watched former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, as a co-defendant in a 2006 district court case in Connecticut, associated with a whole bunch of people tied to a house on my street involved with predicate acts of Wethersfield Police Department with them, other agencies, other nations, overt criminal enterprises, and the Witness Protection Program, and people in the systems associated with the World Trade Center and Washington, D.C. and how that is intercampuses of each age and nature connected, further intersciences. Again, further how that is juxtaposed with overt criminal enterprises. And then what they're going to do, they're going to thank God that they would have undercover positions with these criminal enterprises. This is used. This is not by accident. There is an order to this. That was sophistication here since before any of them are most sophisticated. This is the devil is about an organized crime method. Then if you're preventing free speech and you're pretending other as justice. Justice itself is negative value nature. Science reveals. It is an identity of simultaneous nature. That is positive value nature. Also boils down to itself. A criminal insidiousness nature obviously has different takes on positive and negative. With value treatments, with premises treatments, with time treatments, in relationship to that, for example. These are people pretending things that are debatable that aren't debatable. Like with all that's discernible when people make opinions about color. How they make opinions about debate. Color is one of the things that show correlation. There is no such thing as honest debate. They have people invested to defend their roles with debate as presented to each age, to keep each age defenses as someone who pretended they had a debate, fact-cheating nationwide. But we have logic itself, criminally foreign influence, delusions raw, again, intersciences, intercampuses of each age and nature, inter-industries, originally instilled, that's evidence. Now, if you use logic without criminal foreign influences, using that as logic, using correlation nature reveals, like if you really use 1 and 2, we know the pathology of the zoning laws of houses on the tactically denatured landscape of American citizens, native citizens, everyone, but especially Native Americans. And this is all fact treatment nature-wise. So we have courts that weren't really positive. And so we have hundreds of nations shared fake suits and ties. Victims, but victim predators. So they built modern nations only capable, they built semi-ancient nations only capable of blaming other things other than self for the real cause of negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures. Besides nature, because they don't know how to, it was nature, is nature. But they engineered that specifically to perpetually play everyone's self-valued roles with the identities used as fact treatment nature, where we have this identity of value. This is why and how we are fact treatment nature as value. Actually, again, per this system as reality tactical, that these systems are tactical from. Invested self-valuing how other things others themselves were blamed for things like wars. That's not the real cause of the wars. The real cause of the wars has to do with what keeps the only counters to sick things like that, fact treatment nature-wise, positions and identities of positions, incapable of defending their fact treatment nature, uses of their identities in time, in sequence treatments, uses of databases information, and us from what exploits that. And we already did exploit that. And we already exploited what is manifest. People pretending other people have opinions. Where we have the branches of government recorded originally still preventing mandated law to demonstrate their remote uses as victims, but as victim predators. They were backed into their positions. They were led into their positions dishonestly as victim predators. See, but they don't follow mandated law. They have the sequence shift in self-value, how if you go into a court, you can't record them, and they're pretending fake things recorded into databases further and further through time. Then they have to hide that by self-valuing roles on and off campuses of each age and nature, on and off intersciences originally and still. All bad things that happen in investigations related to that on and off campuses every location. They have connections. Now, they are also recorded using conspiracy theories, interbranch and private, as a sequence shifting method, crime method, as an identity theft and frauds, and worse than war crimes, simple method. Now they have timed ad placements with lawyers like, so please give me a response. Follow mandated law. Stop pretending I made conspiracy theories, because they did this. We started off too. People I never had conversations with. We have interbranch families. We have the people that the people that run those prisons and tied to them interstates. Also rolls with this, that which is interstates, not just World Trade Center, Washington, D.C., and further Pentagon. Now these are further World Trade Center predicate acts. The same ones involved further with child offenders since before they got caught. How they hid that is also recorded evidence. But you have to follow mandated law. These are also people from Sandy Hook and Newtown and from West Hartford, recorded and involved with campuses in my town with child offenders proven, and further other natures of organized crime that the family members of people on the child sex offender registry are involved with. And with federal criminal code defendants, a former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and with people further involved on off World Trade Center locations. Dozens of people from Central Connecticut State University recorded, confessed, demonstrated as strangers. They were to make confessions to me and others, like us Claudia Scalora, and Subby Scalora. They were involved with falsified police reports, with CIA and with FBI families, and with the same house. Further involved with predicate acts, with falsified police reports, with child sex offenders, with a Phil Cololo, with people on off locations where there are interactions between humans. Now, this is how they're keeping them criminally. There's a whole bunch tied to this, like a whole bunch of relevant things that we have to address, like how they were kept criminally foreign influenced. Now, there's a Phil Cololo, for example, and there's a Bob Chase who's recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts with him, and with dozens of people from New Britain Superior Court in New Britain, which are involved intercities with interbranch and foreign from my town, and the Witness Protection Program, and overt criminal enterprises. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated people associated with them, like a Kerr family, like a DeMoro family, with the people on my street that are involved with sequence shifts, forging names, switching names, and other natures of law crimes, sequence crimes, falsified police reports, with dozens of people from the Britain Superior Court and from Hartford courts and their family members associated with them, and with their other cousins of them. Now these are cousins, these extended family members of the people with the agencies and the foreign families, and the shared policing of colleges and universities that are involved with that, where they are kept originally and still needing to hide live progressions constantly. Needed to hide from and hurt correlation natures, free speech. Anyone else can speak. I'll Whisper Creek. Respond for them here, because they lie about it. They put falsified transcripts. Our branches of government, each identity, ground, location. And then again, they hid that for their uses of each age and nature of campuses. And again, worse, not just private, not just over criminal enterprises, foreign and domestic military, that's all recorded, confessed, demonstrated, involved. These are people also on off the Ninth Circuit, which is a court right next to the World Trade Center attack, right before the attack, and leading up to it, involved with sequence shifting, on off that. Post-dating documents that have been proven afterwards, brought in, time-stamped on time. They've been insidiously post-dated to appear as if they've been handed in late. That proven led to a 2006 case with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, in district court now in Connecticut. Part of this case was in Washington, D.C. before. Next, plural, respond. So this is important. This is also news attached to me and others and little kids. And men lied about me when I was a kid, attached me to fake ties to doctors. Whole bunch of people with Central Connecticut and with Trinity College involved with predicate acts with people tied to former directors of the FBI and other nations, and overt criminal enterprises and body dumping spots criminally involved. Real and/or made up. 2 different body spots reported tied to a Billy Grasso of when he was murdered. And that's also associated with Enzo Fienzo, with recorded, confessed, demonstrated crimes with courts and people on off the state judicial branch offices and others from my town, intercities involved with them. I don't know, and those are people on off media locations involved also with 2 Mendez police further involved with the principal child defenders campus. Now, see, they've been making fake Facebook pages, fake YouTube pages, pretending to be me, committing other crimes against me and people I know them that are tied to me, and stealing their identities too. WFSB also attached my family and others to sequence shifts because they've been hiding lies with the courts. They are also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated predicate acts against citizens and people tied to Paul Manafort Drive and CNN. And see, they pretend that mandated law doesn't apply to judges when they are recorded, involved also with their prosecutors, real sick originally and still, as victims, but as victim predators. And then this can be demonstrated if they would follow mandated law. But they can't because they were already used remotely. And they hid that by lying about what goes on. They have roles with database crimes. They have roles forging names and switching names. Uses of those to that time to attach people to fake words, fake transcripts, fake recorded things into databases. These are people with drug crimes and uses of untimely deaths and of body dumping spots. A serial killer is also recorded involved with the people from Sandy Hook, Newtown, intercities involved with the courts and their family members criminally with the house on my street. Further involved with the other natures of organized crime with people on the child sex offender registry. Now they're also recorded self-valued uses of how types of responses to types of crimes. I used to duck behind those identities of those policing bodies and judicial bodies tied to that in collusion, using such roles, having used all identity grounds criminally where it counts, where we are factual in nature. They're just pretending things into databases. This is since before computers.